Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd Ullum.
Welcome into Inside Hilltopper Athletics. I am Todd Ullum. Joining me for this first segment, head coach of the football team, Roger Wiley. Coach, it was a bye week last week. This team has seen some bumps and bruises through the first month of the season or so. How did the week of rest and recovery go?
Not as well as expected, meaning we were hoping the rest would get more people back, but we're still on standby with a few kids that have started for us in the past. So hopefully this week we go out to practice today. Hopefully that will get us going a little bit and get some guys back. But it's definitely a blessing to have a week off to get some people with some fresh legs, some people that are coming off injuries, extra treatment, those types of things. But, fortunately, hopefully, our, defensive-wise in the secondary, hopefully we can get two people back, and then offensive line-wise the same way.
And in the past couple games, we've seen the Toppers use a trio of quarterbacks. Has anyone seemed to separate themselves in this week off?
Well, I think in the last game versus State, Levi Gullion somewhat separated himself. In the second half, he played pretty well, and his stats indicate that. Normally, a lot of times I don't go by stats, but what I do go by is the number of plays. He got us out of some bad plays and into some good ones. He checked to a couple run plays when they lined up in pass defense, and that's what we've been looking for. It's not necessarily who can throw the ball the best, it's the person that can get us in and out of good plays, the better plays. And so he was seeing it against State in the second half. That's our highest point production. I thought he threw the ball well. The turnovers kind of doomed us in that game. We got behind 3 scores early, and then from there played them somewhat even. And so, not throwing any picks in that game. And, he did have a fumble, but he did misread the defense and didn't protect himself well. And then we had one other fumble by a receiver. But in those 2 cases, I believe our defense was able to hold them off to 3. And that's what you expect the defense to do, but you can't give up scoring. You can't let the other team's defense score against you, and then especially in this conference because, everybody's going to have athletes. Everybody's going to be somewhat evenly matched, and whoever can create the turnovers and make the other team make mistakes is going to win the game. So we're going to go with Levi this week and let him start and see what he can do. Hopefully he'll play the same way he did against State.
Well, like you said, this week coming up, Saturday, October 5th, the Toppers will take on Concord here at West Family Stadium on the campus of West Liberty University. Concord last week played Charleston, lost 42-7 at home. Their offense has struggled through 4 games so far this year, only 41 points and 5 touchdowns for them. What can we expect to see from the Concord offense?
Well, offensively, they try to do a few different things. First of all, they want to run the ball first, but they will get into some pass formations, certain formations to try to get you spread out. The running backs are fairly good. They are a fast team. And then they're going to take some shots deep and try to scheme you up. So, where previously they were a big RPO team, now they've turned into a play-action more type team. I think I've only seen a couple RPOs in there. They got some scary returns. Like I said, they do have a lot of team speed. And so that's always scary because if somebody gets in the open, they can go at any time. They returned a kick against Frostburg 2 weeks ago. And they played Charleston this week, which Charleston's one of the top teams in the country. They move the ball sporadically against them. It's they are struggling to get it in the end zone, but on the same thing, they're doing pretty good between the 20s, and so their special teams are good. And so we're going to have to, for us, we have to win the special teams battle. We can't give up anything special, any big play special team wise. We're going to have to control ourselves in when it's penalty. We can't always react if somebody says something to us, but defensively they're a fast group. They've played great defense at times up front. It's where they they try to match you more speed than size. They only play with one guy that's 285 pounds, but everybody else is 230, so they're almost the same. Across the board, they took their starting nickel and moved him to Mike Backer. So a lot of those things do concern you because they are faster. It's a little different than some of the teams we've played. The first 3 games, the teams were 4 games. They were somewhat big up front. And so now we're going to see a different type of team in speed, and we're going to see how we can handle their speed.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game, Coach. We said they lost to Charleston last week. Charleston, before the game last Saturday, was ranked number 19 in the country. We'll see where they're ranked coming up this week.
Charleston played with their backup quarterback. Their starting quarterback didn't even play. And that's the same with Concord. We don't know who we're going to see at quarterback. Their starting quarterback, Ferguson, has left the game the last 2 weeks and did not return. And so you never know how bad the injuries are, how up to date the 2 deeps are. So, and the other quarterback is more of a running style quarterback. So, our defense is going to have to prepare for both. And that you'd like to say, hey, you're just preparing for one thing, but you can't. You can't afford to because we don't know who's going to play.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out and previewing the game with us. Good luck this Saturday. We'll see you there, folks. Topper Nation, we hope to see you there as well. Again, that'll be Saturday, October 5th at 1 p.m. at West Family Stadium. Concord comes to town, and the Toppers looking for a big win this weekend. Come out and join us. Coach, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Roger Wiley. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd Ullum.
And welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. I am with head coach of women's volleyball, Mackenzie Johnson. Coach, great week this past week. Only one game, which is shocking.
Yeah.
This time last week, we had 5 games to talk about that happened within 7 days. Now we just have one.
Yep.
So quite a break, and we talked about it last show, the breath of fresh air.
Yes.
How did that feel going into, right before the match started against Charleston? What was the vibe like?
I think the vibe was strong. Obviously, I think it's a rival for some of our sports here. But the girls were feeling confident. I think that I've really driven home looking at the scouting report and studying the scouting report as you would for a test, a study guide. So the girls knew exactly what we had to do to win, and they really executed our scouting report. I'm really proud of them.
Well, coming into this match, Charleston was 10-2. Great record for them, but it would be West Liberty's night. They opened Mountain East Conference play, did the Toppers. They won 3-1 over Charleston. They won it in opening set 25-23, then 25-21. The next 2 sets, 25-23 and 26-24. Tremendous outing for the Lady Toppers. Had the Cudnick sisters, tremendous match, 13 kills apiece.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the sisters' play?
Yeah, I think Riley Cudnick, I told her after the game, I was like, Riley, that might have been one of the best matches I've ever seen you play. So just seeing her, she had a no-error game, and that was awesome to watch. Her setter, Haley Zek, they've been playing together for 4 years. They kind of have a sense for each other. They can feel each other, and that's really awesome for them. Ashley Cudnick, I had a conversation with her before the game. I was like, Ashley, you're really good. I was like, you need to be a goldfish. You need to just forget about the errors and just push forward. And I think that was one game that I saw her kind of push past that. There were moments where I was like, Ashley, be a goldfish. And she would come back stronger the next play. But I'm really proud of them both. Getting to watch them play together is awesome. I played with my sister in high school for 2 years, so it's really special.
Well, hopefully those kind of things could continue here at West Liberty in the future. Also, some other highlights of the game for the Lady Toppers. Liv McAtee had a very good game, had 10 kills. Haley Zek, as you mentioned, 24 assists. Dakota Kenny had 19. Bella Dart with 12 digs and Ashley Kudnick with 11 as well. So just an all-around great game for the Lady Toppers. What was your message to them after the final buzzer?
I think the biggest thing was that, our pre-conference play doesn't define what we do in conference. I told them before the match, everyone's 0-0 right now. No one's records matter right now. So we have to go in and make a statement. And I think these past 2 matches against Gannon, against Charleston, we kind of found our identity and found our groove. Our block has really shown up and been consistent. The one set that we did lose to Charleston, we didn't have any blocks. So I was like, block, we got to come back. We got to show ourselves. So I think that, after the match, just really proud of them seeing so many hitters hit above, 200, 100. That's what we're really looking for.
And for this team, knowing they can beat one of the big-time teams in the conference, how does that build that confidence?
Yeah, I think, our confidence going into the game was already high. I think, from last year having a close 5-set match, they didn't want a repeat of that. So seeing their fight in the 4th set after being down a few points, towards the end, I try to strategically place my timeouts. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but they usually work in my favor.
Well, now that we move on past the Charleston match, the season kind of calms down and it's regular now. It's 2 matches a week, correct?
Yep.
So the next one the Toppers will have will actually be tonight, the day of filming, October 1st. Against Salem. They have to travel out of conference. That'll start at 7 p.m. tonight. Then Fairmont State at Fairmont, October 4th, Friday at 4 p.m. Again, don't want to get too much ahead of ourselves here with talking about Fairmont State, but Salem coming up the next game. How do you go from that big high of winning Charleston to get everybody back to the level and get ready to play again?
I think the biggest thing I put on their scouting report is giving them goals to reach for. After coming off of 2 very high wins, you kind of have to ground ourselves, kind of like you said. So going back to the little things, going back to the little details and giving them goals to work for each set, I think is what helps us keep us focused, yeah.
And again, I don't want to make you jump too far ahead as a coach, never want to, but just Fairmont State and the rivalry with the schools, not even just solely one sport or another, but the 2 schools have a rivalry.
Yeah, they're a very strong program. Travis is a really great coach and what he's built there. They're very consistent, but at the end of the day, I always say with 2 good teams, it's about discipline and who wants it more, and I think our girls want it a little bit more.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us, and congratulations on the win against Charleston. Good luck against Salem and Fairmont State. It'll be fun to see you here back next week, and best wishes to everybody on the safe travels, I guess you could say.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and folks, we'll be right back for more on Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
Okay.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd Ullum.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. Joining me now is Robert, affectionately known as Mac Allen of the cross country team. Had a great finish this past week in the Lock Haven Invitational. Robert finished 25th overall with a time of 25 minutes, 30 seconds. The men's team finished 10th overall. Tui was 52nd overall with a time of 26 minutes, 3 seconds. Skylar Hudnall and also Jasper Brown had a great showing as well. How did that run go for you? What was the course like, and how did you feel the team did?
The run went really, really well. I tried to just kind of stay within my means and kind of just keep it consistent, and I really wouldn't change how I raced at all. And for the team as a whole, we did great. We have a really tight bunch up there front for the 1, 2, 3, and it's a really, really great showing for us. We just showed up well against the people we had to show well against, and just puts us in a good position coming into conferences within the next month or so. So it puts us a really good showing for that.
On the women's side, your teammates, they finished 19th overall. Lacey Dimmitt finished 54th overall with a time of 23 minutes, 4 seconds. Morgan Lesnansky also finished inside the top 100 at 81st overall. they had a great showing as well. How do you see this just as teammates? You see the women's side go, and how exciting is that for the men's team?
It's really exciting. I mean, the women's team's it's come a long way. I mean, it used to just, it's like I'm getting a lot more tighter bunch of girls now, and it's they're really just they're still, I mean, lot of room to grow still, a lot younger and everything, but overall, I mean, it's really exciting to see how they're progressing and going forward. And they have a lot more they can show, and I have a feeling that they're only get better from here.
And this course at the Lock Haven Invitational, you've run a couple races already up at Bethany this year. This is a new course for this season. How were the course conditions?
Honestly, really good. I mean, it was a little bit wet, but it really wasn't bad. And the thing about this course, it's almost comparable to a track in a way. You think of cross country, you think of hills and up and down. This course is as flat as this table right here. It is. There's no. I don't want to say there's no challenge to it, but comparatively to other courses, it is very fast and very flat, and that's nice for the aspect of you get the chance to run fast and kind of just see where you're at. But other than that, though, I mean, yeah, it was a little bit wet, but nothing bad. If anything, it's kind of nice in a way because the air's not as it's not as dry and there's no dust kicking up or anything. So that's really not. The course conditions were pretty good, just to put it out there flat out. But
that's what I was going to ask. It's been so dry this summer and early fall. Having a little bit of moisture now, a little bit of rain falling, that's got to help out a little bit.
It does. For multiple reasons. I mean, for one, like the dust doesn't kick up or anything, and it's not that, and it's not hot either. Yeah. I mean, we're used to running in the heat because we practice in the afternoon, and it's been hot all summer, but it keeps the temperatures down, which only makes it easier to run.
Next up for the toppers in cross country, it's the Doug Watts Open at Edinburgh. That'll be Friday, October 11th. What schools will be competing in that one, if you know, and what are the expectations for that meet?
I'm not 100% sure. We've never been to this meet before. Okay. It's very new to all of us, but I think we're just expecting to go out there and just give it the best we got. I mean, it's a new course. It's all unknown to all of us. Don't know the competition. But that sometimes that kind of helps to not know who you're racing and just kind of go out there and do it and not know anything, especially with cross. I mean, you don't know what the course is going to be like or anything. So you can just go out there and race the field and not really worry about it and just go out there and feel you had a good race. And that's kind of just the expectation every time, and no different here.
Well, folks at home, if you don't know, this is the first time Mac and I have ever met, but it's not the first time I've met people in his family. Years ago, his older sister was here as a broadcast student, helping us out quite a bit for a lot of these sports broadcasts. She now works at Channel 7, Beth Allen. She's probably going to be upset that I'm giving away personal information of hers.
Yeah.
But also, your cousin Aaron Jeffries was on the crew with us. It was a lot of fun working with them. I miss working with them. It was tremendous, so please tell them hello, and I will try to do my best to embarrass them. I hope they get embarrassed when they watch this. I hope they get jealous that you got to be on air, and I don't know if either one of them ever got to be on air. I'm trying to remember if Aaron maybe did a little bit of sideline reporting. I can't quite remember.
Wow.
But I've definitely got stories about Aaron on these road trips. So
I'm sure.
If he ever does something to annoy you, let me know. I'll give you all kinds of stories. Listen to what I said, Aaron. I'm going to give it to him. So good luck in the next meet coming up. I totally appreciate you bringing time out of your day and giving us a little bit of time to talk.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Well, good luck at Edinburgh. And folks, stay right here. We'll be right back with more Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Roger Wiley. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd Ullum.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, this segment for women's soccer. Joining me, the head coach, Pete McMenemy. Coach, Frostburg came to town for the first of two games this past week. Frostburg ended up getting the victory 2-0 against the Toppers, but Frostburg in that game seemed like they proved why they're one of the top teams in the conference.
Yeah, Frostburg's a good team. We knew that it was going to be difficult beforehand. I thought the ladies acquitted themselves really well in the game. we really worked hard defensively, limited them in the first half to a lot of efforts from distance. I thought in the second half they stepped it up a little bit, but we had some opportunities in the second half. I think there's an opportunity for us. I think we should probably have a penalty. Looking back on it, that probably brings us to one each and makes it interesting probably for the last kind of few minutes. And then once we got to the last 10 minutes, we kind of opened up and went for it, and we got bitten with the kind of second goal, which kind of kills the game off. But the work rate the ladies put in was really strong. Just unfortunate that we couldn't get a positive result in that one.
Well, the Lady Toppers definitely built on the effort, maybe not the outcome they wanted, but the effort that they gave. They built on it for the following game against Wheeling. It's the first conference victory of the year for the Lady Toppers. They won 2-1 versus Wheeling. They took the 1-0 lead in the 9th minute. Mia Zeka gets her second goal of the season. How big was that, getting the first goal?
Yeah, it's really important in those games to score first. I actually thought in the first kind of 10 minutes of the game that Wheeling came out maybe a little bit quicker than us. We knew that was probably going to be the case, them being at home. But I thought we weathered the storm pretty well. We had one or two little opportunities before Mia's goal. We've been working a lot on set pieces and from corners, and Mia's delivery from set pieces is excellent. So she puts it into a great area, and it goes sometimes how it does from corners and goes all the way in. I don't think anybody touched it. I think the keeper might have got a slight touch on it, but I think we had somebody right around the back anyway that probably would have scored. But it was a great ball in, and kind of gave us the impetus to push forward, and kind of gave us that confidence, kind of after what was a kind of maybe rough kind of opening 10 minutes.
And the Toppers would continue to push. In the 26th minute, Morgan Cost put a penalty kick in to make it 2-0. At that moment, knowing you're up 2 within the first 30 minutes of the game or the match, that had to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I think once we got that first goal, we kind of built on that, and we had one or two opportunities. We were controlling a lot of the game, which was pleasing to see. And then, to be honest, as I said previously, we probably could have had a few penalties in previous games. It's just funny how it was Maya again that gets fouled for the penalty, but this time we do get it. And Morgan, steps up and kind of confidently puts it away. She never really gave the goalkeeper any chance with it. So that was definitely good for us heading in at the break to have 2 goals.
And the Toppers goalkeeper, Cici Batera, made 7 saves in the win. West Liberty had 11 shots on goal. Morgan Cost led with 5. Maya Zeka had 3, and Audrey Lance had 2. Again, a big bounce-back victory against a rival on their pitch. What was the mood of the team after the match?
I think they were really excited. I think the performances, and I spoke to the girls yesterday and with my assistant about how we feel as though the performance level has grown game to game. We maybe just haven't quite seen the result, in terms of wins to go with it. So it was really pleasing, and I was really happy for them to see that kind of their hard work kind of paid off on Sunday. As I said, kind of off camera, we could have made it a little bit easier. I think we could have had some more goals even to just make life a little bit more comfortable for ourselves. But all in all, it was a good, strong performance, and one that we're hopefully looking to build on looking ahead.
Yeah, as we look ahead, we filmed this on Tuesday, October 1st. The Toppers will host Charleston Wednesday, October 2nd. So tomorrow at 5 p.m., the West Family Athletic Complex here on the campus of West Liberty University. Folks, get up here to see this match. What can we expect to see from Charleston?
Charleston will be a strong team. I mean, they're the defending conference champions from last year. They made the NCAA tournament last year, and they return a lot of those players, and they've added 1 or 2 players to that. So they're a strong team. They've undefeated in conference play, 5-0 so far. So they'll be a tough test for us. But I think one that the ladies are excited for, and they want to take kind of head on. I think that as I said, we've grown game to game. And listen, it's a great opportunity for us. We get to play them at home, which is of course a big bonus for us. And I think that we've noticed some areas where we think we can get some success from. Obviously, we'll have to be really dialed in and focused. It's when you play a team like that has a tradition of winning and success, and they score a lot of goals as well. So we'll have to be really focused defensively, and when we get our opportunities, we'll obviously have to take them.
And Coach, I'm not going to ask you to jump too far ahead in this.
Yeah.
There are 2 games this week before the next time
Yeah.
we meet and film this show, so you don't have to get too much into it. Just focus on Charleston. That's fine. But for the folks at home, Sunday, October 6th at 5:30 p.m., the Toppers will travel to West Virginia Wesleyan College to take on the Bobcats down there. That should be a good one as well, and an opportunity for the Lady Toppers to get some success.
Yeah, Wesleyan. I mean, it's a really tough place to go. They typically play on a grass field, which is probably the only team I think in our conference that plays on that type of surface. With all the rain that we've had recently, kind of in the region and in the area, we don't know what kind of that field's going to like, and that can be a difference maker, particularly for them being at home. So that'll be another challenge in a different way for us. And they're a team that they've had some good results this year, and maybe 1 or 2 results were very close, when maybe they might not have expected that to be the case. So they provide a different type of challenge for us, and especially it's never easy to win on the road, no matter who the opponent is. So it'll be tough for us going down there, but again, one that we're excited for come Sunday.
Well, Coach, good luck this week in the 2 matches. Again, folks at home, we're filming on Tuesday morning, so it's tomorrow, Wednesday, October 2nd at 5 p.m. Get up here to West Liberty University's campus at the West Family Athletic Complex to watch West Liberty take on Charleston in women's soccer. Again, good luck at West Virginia Wesleyan this coming weekend, and thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
No problem. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back, folks.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd Ullum.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. Joining me now is men's head coach for soccer, Sean Regan. Had a good week this week. The Toppers had 2 matches, but we'll start with Jasper Newton, special honor defensive player of the week in the Mountain East Conference. Just a tremendous job. Talk about him and what he brings to this team.
Yeah, it was good to get that news yesterday that he got Player of the Week. Jasper's been an integral part of our program for the past year and a half. He did really well as a freshman. He was all conference, all rookie team, and then he's just even raised his level this year, even a little bit more. You kind of switched him from an outside back position now into the central midfield, and it's been really good. He's added a little bit of attacking to his game, a little bit more patience. So it was definitely a much-deserved award for sure.
Well, congratulations to Jasper. A tremendous job this past week. The first match of the week was against Frostburg. It was tied 1-1 until the 78th minute, where Frostburg was able to get one into the back of the net, and unfortunately the Toppers fell 2-1 in that game. Your take from that one?
Yeah, it was a tough game. Frostburg is historically a very, very tough opponent. They're not very attack-minded. They're very defensive. They sit back and they're very physical and strong. So when it was 1-1, we thought we were the better team, outside probably the first 30 minutes. And, we missed a few opportunities to go ahead, and they got one kind of late on, and we just couldn't, get the second goal to tie it up. But it was a tougher one because a couple of the games that we've lost this year, we might have been second best. But this is a game where we played better, we knew we were better, and you drop that, so it's a little bit more demoralizing when those type of things happen. So we're optimistic that when we get them on the return leg, we'll get the win.
Well, the Toppers quickly turned the page after that game. They knew they had a big one to get ready for. Wheeling was on the schedule next. It's not just a rivalry between West Liberty and Wheeling University. This was a sibling rivalry in this one. The two head coaches going against each other, but the Toppers came out big winners on this day. They won 5-1. 4 different Toppers scored in the 5-1 victory. Just a tremendous job overall for West Liberty.
Yeah, it was the best 90 minutes of soccer we played all year, to be honest with you. It was kind of a perfect storm. They didn't have a great day, and we had an unreal day. So that was great. But funny enough, we missed 2 sitters in the first 15 minutes, and they got a penalty, and we just kind of looked at each other. So, oh, here we go again. They're 1-0 up. But the good thing was we were able to calm down a little bit. We got the goal before halftime to make it 1-1. And then we got an early one in the second half, and then just the floodgates just opened. Everything was just flowing our way. So it was a great win for sure.
That's what I was going to ask at halftime. Was there something said or something that you could see a change in the team before they came out for the second?
I think the mentality was just good. We knew we were the better side. We created opportunities. We should have been up probably 3-1. At the time, we were playing our best soccer of the year. So it was just like, listen, guys, it'll come. We just have to be patient. We can't start taking risks. We can't, do anything stupid. We just have to kind of keep with the game plan. And getting that early goal in the second half really helped because you could see Wheeling's heads dip down a little bit because they're not a high-scoring team. So once we got the second and got the third, it was just momentum after momentum.
Alex Watt got his 3rd goal of the season, and a host of other Toppers getting their 1st of the season. So it's not just the same old guys getting it. Now we're getting contributions from across the board, just about everybody. The Toppers dominated the flow of play. They finished with 9 shots, limiting Wheeling to 1. And we talked about how this was a sibling rivalry between head coaches. How was the family dinner on Sunday night?
Interesting, put it that way. Yeah, it's always good to beat up on your little brother, but at the same time, after that 5th goal went in, I felt a little bit bad for me. I'm talking just a smidge bad for him, but so.
So nobody had to be separated?
No.
Okay.
We're old enough now that we're not beating the crap out of each other.
That's where your brother and you are much more mature
yes.
than my brother and myself because there would have been issues. That's probably why we're not coaches. The Toppers move on from that game, a match, a big one against Wheeling. Now they return back to West Liberty. They take on Charleston. That'll be tomorrow. We film on October 1st on a Tuesday. It's October 2nd here on the campus of West Liberty University, West Family Athletic Complex, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Charleston is going to be a big matchup.
Yeah, Charleston's the benchmark. That's the biggest thing. When you play them, you know how you fit on a national scale. I think they're currently ranked 8th in the country. They've won 2 of the past 5 national championships and been in another final. So they are historically and are a top team in the country. And to have them in the conference and have to play them home and away, it's cool yet not the greatest at the same time. So, but I think the way we're playing at home, coming off the Wheeling win, I don't think there's a better time to play them because we've got a lot of momentum. We're really happy. We played really well. They have to travel. It's not an easy trip up, the mountain and all that stuff like that. So we're confident that we're going to give a good showing. In years past, every year we've gotten better and better. And last year a 1-0 loss and kind of shows us that we're making that progress. So it'll be interesting to see how we come out tomorrow. And I think the guys are more ready and more pumped up for it than they have been in the past 5 years.
Well, great. And I don't want to make you jump too far ahead being the head coach of the team, but the Toppers, before we film again, we'll have a second match down at West Virginia Wesleyan. That'll be Sunday at 3 p.m., October 6th, for those who would like to watch online. Again, not too much in depth. I know Charleston is first, and just give them your full attention. But Wesleyan coming up.
Yeah, Wesleyan's a big game. It's a 6-pointer. Basically to get into the playoffs, you have to beat the teams around you. And Wesleyan is a team that's likened us. So we go there, and we're realistically looking at Wesleyan to be a winnable game compared to Charleston. And that's kind of the benchmark. Very, very few teams take anything off of Charleston. So anything we get there is basically gravy. So against Wesleyan, if we can go there, we get a result on the road, whether it be a draw or win, that's points on the board, and points that we take off of them, and hopefully on the return leg when they come back up to our place, we get a result because Wesleyan, Wheeling, Point Park, and Frostburg are all teams that we're competing against for those basically last 3 playoff spots.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come speak with us and be on the show. Good luck against Charleston and West Virginia Wesleyan coming up. Folks, again, at home, get up here tomorrow night, October 2nd, at 7:30 p.m. as the Toppers take on Charleston, one of the nationally top-ranked teams in the country. Again, thank you for being here, Coach. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week with more Inside Hilltopper Athletics.